all the things they haven't been able to do in previous matchups.
And I think Philadelphia has been way too conservative so far in this game. Where are the blitzes from Jim Johnson? Where are the throws down the field? Donovan McNabb is your superstar player. Get the ball in his hands. Let him win the football game for you.
We'll hear from Pam Oliver after the kick, which will be off the left foot. David Akers with Stecker waiting deep. Aaron Stecker from just outside the 10. Gets it up to the 30. And let's go down to Pam Oliver. Pam?
Okay, Joe, John Gruden, whose team has absolutely stunned this Philadelphia crowd, says it's important for us to just maintain our tempo. He says we have just got to do what we did in the first half, not let up whatsoever, stay aggressive. Meanwhile, for the Philadelphia Eagles, Antonio Freeman, one of the lone voices you can hear as the Eagles made their way up the tunnel, he reminded his teammates, we've got to stay enthusiastic. There is plenty of football left. Back to you.
Crowds back.
To start the second half and find out what the coaches talked about in the locker room at halftime and what kind of adjustments they're going to make. You see Tampa Bay came out running the ball with Michael Pittman, but because of the holding penalty, it then puts them in second and long. Then they have to get out of their game plan, start trying to throw the ball. Brad being patient there, but right now they're fighting an uphill battle at 2nd and 16.
Johnson down the middle of the field, and it was in and out of the arms of Keyshawn Johnson.
Boy, that's a play for Keyshawn Johnson. You just have to make. He's made some good plays, but I mean, Brad Johnson just threw an absolute laser in here, and you can't ask for one better than that. I mean, down low, you don't have to worry about Kirkland hitting you in the chops. You want to go to a Super Bowl, you better make that one.
Yeah, and that is a problem that Keyshawn Johnson has had throughout the season with drop balls. Now, what is John Gruden going to do in 3rd and long? Is he going to be conservative and try to just play to his defense, or is he going to try to pick this one up?
Brad Johnson with plenty of time, and there's no one open. And a good start defensively for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And John Gruden was telling us yesterday, what is the percentage when it's 3rd and 10? About 10%, something like that. He said, yeah, Hallmark cards for everybody. Good luck at that point, especially against this defense.
Well, and that was a good defensive stand right there by the Eagles, and now they should get good field position after this return and give their ball back to the offense with a chance to try to come away with some points.
That holding call really made a difference.
The dangerous Mitchell waiting deep. Line drive punt from Tupa. On a hop. Big hit. That was Golden, one of the backup linebackers. Jack Golden says, look at this bicep. Brian Mitchell for the brunt of that hit. The Eagles get the ball after an early defensive stand down by 7.
You've launched the pink slip virus. Your office is now infected. They'll soon trace it back to you. Good luck finding a new job. Congratulations!
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by January 20th.
You are now free to move about the country.
A brilliant sun, virgin sand that stretches for miles, and not another soul to bother you. Because there are 1,000 ways the Marzook Desert can kill you, and that's a deterrent.
Are you tough enough to drive a Tacoma?
Doesn't Miller Lite taste great?
Yeah, but I drink it because it's less filling.
Great taste.
Less filling! Great taste! Less filling! Great taste! Less filling!
Oh, man, now that would make a great commercial. Who wouldn't want to watch that?
Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Miller Time.
Philadelphia Eagles during the regular season, the 7th best team in the NFL, averaging over 138 yards on the ground per game. Staley rushed for 152 yards against Tampa back in October. The Eagles have rushed for only 50 so far in this game. Westbrook can't hang on. It's 2nd and 10.
I know in talking with Donovan McNabb yesterday, he felt that in their first matchup in October that he was a little impatient, tried forcing throws. He really thought it was going to be important for him today to come down to his underneath throws, the check downs to the backs. It's exactly what he tries doing here with Westbrook, and it's incomplete. So now you're behind the chains again. You're at 2nd and long, and anytime you come out and throw the ball on 1st down, you've got to be able to complete the passes and stay ahead of the game.
Only 119 total yards so far for the Eagles. That's Staley. Well played. Jackson. Dexter Jackson, the free safety, got off his block and made a solid tackle, a gain of only 2.
As great a screen team as Philadelphia is, you just can't practice against the speed of this Tampa Bay defense. You get out there in open spaces and you think your linemen are going to be able to make a block, and they just olay you and go by and then come up and make the tackle. A great tackling team, a very athletic defensive football team. That time Jackson played it beautifully.
The numbers for the Eagles on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 8.
Here they come.
And they are coming. The offensive line picks it up, and the throw is caught. Chad Lewis with a tremendous catch on a ball right off the top of this turf.
Well, they showed blitz. They pulled out and they played man-to-man coverage, and Chad Lewis just does a great job of pulling this one up off the ground. You're right, Joe. That was not a very good throw. And Chad Lewis, who's running away from where that ball was thrown, being able to redirect his body and still make the catch. Great athletic play.
From midfield, it's 1st down. It's Deuce Staley. Short gain over the right side, only 3. It was Derek Brooks who was the first to get there.
And Troy, I think that prior play is a double-edged sword, because not only was it a good pickup and a 1st down, but also sends a message to Monty Kiffin. Hey, you better be careful when you want to try and blitz us. And I know defensive coordinators get a little gun shy when you fire your bullets a few times and it doesn't work back. And now we'll see if they just sit back and play their regular defense.
2nd down and 7. Blitz coming off the corner, and it was Barber who got there. The ball's knocked out, and Tampa Bay ends up with it. Ellis Wims with the recovery, but on a corner blitz, it was Rondé Barber who knocked it out of the hand of McNabb.
And it's the exact same way that Simeon Rice was able to knock the ball out of Donovan's hand. You see him, 20, Rondé Barber right there. Donovan brings the ball back. Rondé Barber coming off the edge. Trey Thomas tries getting a hand on him, but Rondé Barber too quick and able to pull the ball off of Donovan's hand.
And you have to know.
75 is an eligible receiver.
You have to know where Rondé Barber is in your pass protection. He's had 3 sacks during the course of the regular season. So when you get in those slot formations, you have to be aware of him.
And Donovan's the one who has to be able to see that.
Lomas Brown checks in as an eligible receiver. And Brad Johnson, after the turnover, the second of the day by the Eagles, has to spend an early timeout. Rondé Barber all smiles. He forces the second turnover of the day. We saw your name. Good work, Rondé. 17-10 Tampa Bay.
Hello, Peter. You considered my offer? I'll give you power.
I've got power.
I'll give you riches. Riches.
I've got riches.
All right, I'll even.
Now you can have luxury without selling your soul. The 2003 Camry, the most irresistible Camry we've ever built.
Purchase 20 tons of steel for the factory in Milan. Piece of cake. Next. Buy 300 hydraulic assemblies for the Washington factory by Friday. Done. Ooh, best price on titanium discs in Singapore.
Oh, look at this. 4 partners ready to bid. As you bore me.
You guys got any light bulbs?
How many pallets?
Domestic or international?
No, just one.
I can't do one.
He can't do one.
.NET Connected Software helps you connect with partners. That's software for the agile business. From Microsoft.
Jim! Hey, Mikey. There's our TV. 57-inch widescreen. Looks even better than last week.
Can we take it home this time?
Therein lies the problem, Peter. The minute we take it home, I'm going to see it on sale.
You know, with Circuit City's Price Match Plus, you don't have to worry about that.
Huh. Don't worry. Take it home. And right now at Circuit City, buy any big screen TV and get free delivery. Guaranteed in time for kickoff of Sunday's big game. Circuit City. We're with you.
Philadelphia Eagle Donovan McNabb and his mom brought Jim Gilbert Campbell's Chunky Sirloin Burger with loads of hearty sirloin burgers to fill him up right. He didn't leave a scrap.
Donovan McNabb and Brad Childress, the offensive coordinator, talking it over on the Eagles sideline. First down for the Buccaneers. Inside Eagle territory, Johnson has time, and that's been a big story today. Completes the pass to McCardell.
Well, you're right, Joe. When they've only brought 4 people, that defensive front, the offensive line for Tampa has done a nice job of holding up and giving Brad time to sit in the pocket and throw the football. And we all know any quarterback, particularly Brad Johnson, when he's got time, he's pretty dangerous.
All they're doing is rushing 4. I guess he's going to have time.
Second down and 6. Carlos Emmons was up on the line. Now backs off, comes on the running play, and it's Pittman who goes nowhere. Simon in on the stop.
I want to go back for just a moment to the play that Barber made. I was wondering whether or not Monty Kiffin was going to stay aggressive. He got burned on the blitz the play prior, and he comes right back again with a corner blitz after that. That has been the story this entire game, in my opinion. The Buccaneers have come out really to play this game to win. They've stayed aggressive all day long, and it's been successful for them.
Chance for the Eagle defense now on 3rd and 5. Johnson hit as he let it go, and out of bounds it flies. Pressured by Darwin Walker, who was so good in the first meeting between these two teams. John Gruden said they gave him $7 million as a signing bonus and a contract extension.
Yeah, and he's been pretty good all season long, really. Jim Johnson told us at the beginning of the season that the key to this defensive success was going to be the play of Darwin Walker, and he's done a great job getting pressure on the quarterback as well as stopping the run, and he disrupted the play there.
So good work by the Eagles defense now after the turnover, and Tupa on for another punt.
Let him go!
That thing goes straight up into the air, went nowhere, and backs up.
thanks, Tom, for that 6-yard punt.
A 5-yard punt from Tom Tupa, and the Eagles get it back with great field position.
Absolutely atrocious, Alan. I can't believe he missed that.
The reverse angle showed that was a good call for offside.
Oh, my word, I think we've got extra man on the pitch.
Can't imagine he'll get too far, though.
I don't know. So far, he's giving the police nothing but a good look at his backside. I don't know if this is a cry for help, but it certainly got my attention. Oh, dear. That's an image going to stay with me for a very long time.
Scorched onto my retina.
I do hope he's not heading for the royal box. Oh, that's going to leave a mark.
Back to the game. Furlong, Denick.
Oh, we have contact.
Looks like he has more souvenirs for the crowd.
I think he's got the shoes to thank.
A minute ago, they were all chanting who had all the pies. I think there's your answer.
And he's off like a bull with gas.
What have you been up to, Mr. Moneybags?
It's okay. I put it on the credit card.
Those interest charges are going to get us.
Don't worry. It's our new Capital One No Hassle card.
The Capital One No Hassle card has the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates, $0 fraud liability, and no telemarketing.
What's a goal alert? Fox Monday. Joe's cracking under the pressure of hiding his secret.
I'm waist deep in it now.
As the one-on-one dates begin, the truth slips out.
3 weeks ago, I was running a bulldozer.
Huh? Oh, my God.
Will his charade come to a sudden end?
The ship is going down right here.
Joe Millionaire. The hit series continues at 9, Fox Monday.
Down on the field, we have seen the effect of the wind here. It was really at the back of Tom Tupa, but this thing just went straight up officially. Only a 6-yard punt from Tupa.
Yeah, and Ryan Benjamin, he's the deep snapper, and he was pretty excited there for a minute. He finally outran himself a punt until he realized it was only 6 yards.
Had to moonwalk to cover that duck.
From their own 36, the Eagles. McNabb falls forward for a gain of 1.
And one thing that Donovan McNabb is very aware of is Simeon Rice, who's been coming around the corner, and you'll see Donovan McNabb stepping up in the pocket. He gets the great rush up the field, and McNabb in the last game took a couple of steps to his right, and Rice was able to circle all the way around and knock the ball out of his hands. Donovan's very conscious of not moving right in this game.
Second down and 9. Throw to the sideline, and the catch is made just shy of the 41. That was James Thrash.
Well, because of the pressure that Tampa Bay is able to get on Donovan McNabb from the outside, as you mentioned, from Simeon Rice. Now Donovan McNabb is going to more 3-step drops as he was there, and so nothing has time to develop quite. You can't hold on to the football. He had to come back out here to this sideline to get rid of the ball, and at least now they're in a third and manageable position.
Which is 3rd and 5. Buccaneers come on a blitz. It's Barber again and Quarles. And the pass is just flipped forward, incomplete for Westbrook. Quarles and Barber again off the corner, and this crowd is letting the Eagles offense have it a bit.
Well, Donovan was audibling at the line of scrimmage. I think he saw the blitz coming. He just wasn't able to do anything about it. Here they come off of this side, 1-2, and Quarles is going to come right up the gut and force him out of the pocket, and Donovan just tries to shovel the thing forward. I think it's just about time now that Donovan starts having some plays called where he can get out of the pocket, move him out, let him use his athleticism. Don't just sit in the pocket. They're losing the battle in there.
Lee Johnson, the punter, has had a nice day for the Eagles. Line drive punt into the wind. And that's about all Johnson could hope for. 29-yard punt, a 17-10 lead for the Buccaneers, who get it back here in the 3rd quarter.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. All season we waited our faces, I painted the playoffs are here. It's the most wonderful time.
time of the year. With Super Bowl dreaming and cheerleading, screaming, big blazing cold beer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Here's the playoffs.
Today, HP Technology is building efficient miracles, helping access the web wirelessly in coffee houses, and letting citizens talk to their government 24 hours a day. It's powering the engine of the world economy and making art timeless. For the world's great companies, thinkers, and doers, HP makes more things more possible.
Mount Everest at 17,000 feet. Muscles twitch, nerves fray, engine roars. The awe-inspiring new 4Runner with advanced technologies like Hill Start Assist Control, Downhill Assist Control, Torsion Center Differential, and X-Rear Sport Suspension. You find the obstacles, we'll help you conquer them.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37. By Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Cool down easy. By Toyota, get the feeling. And by Tears of the Sun, starring Bruce Willis in theaters March 7th, rated R.
Final game at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where the Buccaneers hold a 7-point lead. That's Tiki Barber. Had a tremendous year this year with the Giants. Was unsure as to whether he was going to come down here because he's not too well liked in these parts by the Eagle fans. Watching his twin brother Rondé work off the corner for Tampa Bay. Handoff to Pittman, and he was lucky to hang on to that handoff. A loss on the play of 2. Well, what's happened today? A 2-play drive capped by the touchdown run by Staley early after a 70-yard kickoff return by Mitchell. But the Bucs got a field goal, came back down the field, a long drive, Allstott into the end zone, and Keyshawn Johnson, with that grab, made it a 17-10 Tampa Bay lead.
And we just saw the Eagles come out and blitz on that down, and they were effective. I just wonder where it's been. They've got the best secondary in football. Let those guys play some man-to-man and get after it. 2nd down and 12, and this ball is dumped off. That's Carl Williams, his first catch of the day. And at some point, you want Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor locked up in man coverage down there, and send Dawkins. He's probably the best pass rusher they've got on this football team. Let him get in there. Let him make some plays. Because offensively, I'm not sure the Eagles can score enough points to beat Tampa Bay, so you might have to generate some points off of your defense.
Well, 3rd and 6, and this is usually where they like to bring pressure.
An extra man coming, and the pass is tipped and incomplete. Tipped off the hands of Juravicius. And then in and out of the hands of Ike Reese, who's disappointed he didn't come away with a pick.
Yeah, and you're going to see right here, they're going to bring Troy Vincent off the corner to bring the 4-week. They got one more guy than what the offense can protect, and they still had a shot. Had Brad been able to get the ball up, Juravicius had a chance to maybe bring that one in for a 1st down.
And they went with the zone blitz drop. N.D. Kalu dropping back into coverage and made the play.
Brian Mitchell has returned 9 punts, touchdowns in his career. Waiting deep for the punt from Tupa. On a line, Mitchell from inside the 30. Gets it out to the 44, and that's where the Eagles will start with it. They've called a penalty on that play, and it's a hold against Philadelphia.
If this is before the kick, it'd be a 1st down.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 83, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
So it was during the kick, and Jack Golden was there applauding the call by the ref. For the Philadelphia Eagles, this is their 3rd try in an NFC Championship game. Before the game, they reenacted that run, that dash from Wilbert Montgomery in the 20-7 Eagle win over the Dallas Cowboys. And then you go just to last year, and the Eagles came up 5 points short in St. Louis. And as we've mentioned a couple of times, there's Ron Jaworski watching, part of that 1980 Philadelphia Eagle team. So many of these Eagles stayed around on the field in St. Louis to watch the celebration. See Harold Carmichael, still part of this Philadelphia organization, as Staley tries the left side and has a nice gain on first down. Derek Brooks on the tackle after a gain of 7.
Well, both of these teams have had chances in championship games. Tampa Bay a couple of years ago, of course, Philadelphia last season. You just don't know how many times as a player you're going to get an opportunity to play in a championship game, to go on and play in a Super Bowl, and you have to be able to take advantage of those chances when you have them. And right now the Eagles, who've been struggling, they need to get something going.
Buccaneers have never been to a Super Bowl. The Eagles have been one time. This is Deuce Staley. He's brought down short of a first down.
And I give Warren Sapp some credit for changing his game just a little bit. Warren had told us, and looks like he's hurt again, something wrong with his hand, but he had told us earlier in the season, he goes, hey guys, he says, I'm just playing the run on the way to the quarterback as I pass rush. But since Booger McFarland went out of the game 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, he's had to be much more of a run stuffer. So he hasn't been able to get up the field quite as much, and he's had to focus more on just making sure that run gets stopped.
Went down December 15th on IR and whistles before the snap, and McNabb is wondering why.
Timeout was called prior to the snap by Tampa Bay.
So the Buccaneers are now left with only one timeout. Third down and a couple for the Eagles when we return.
Gentlemen, we're gonna have to put you back in.
Your prime objective is to distract Dr. Lena Hendricks.
It was a routine rescue operation. Get your people together. But behind enemy lines, everything can change in a moment.
Birds are taking heavy fire and we're no longer entering Nigerian airspace. Right now, you are on your own.
On March 7th, the lives of many
I strongly advise you complete the evacuation as planned.
rest in the courage of a few.
It's been strongly suggested that we can abandon these refugees. I'll tell you right now, I'm not gonna do that. Can't do that. Send all our men to Kashunga. We got trouble.
5,000 rebels converging on your area. You're not equipped to handle the additional threat.
My team will complete this mission.
Get these people ready to go now.
From the director of Training Day, Bruce Willis, Tears of the Sun, rated R, in theaters everywhere March 7th.
Don't miss the best Toyota has to offer, like Toyota Corolla, named Best Compact Car in initial quality 3 years in a row. Or the truly different Matrix, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Don't miss the best values at your Toyota dealer.
American Idol returns, and some are ready to reach for the stars,
I've got sunshine. Hollywood.
while others should be banished to a distant planet.
My one and only true love, at least it seems.
You're amazing. Amazingly dreadful.
American Idol is finally here. Premieres at 8, Fox Tuesday.
Todd Pinkston right out here, absolutely wide open. McNabb saw it and tried to give him the football. The Buccaneers recognized it as well and called timeout. And that timeout came literally right as the ball was snapped. And in light of what happened with the Pittsburgh play at the end of last week, a lot of times you don't get that timeout.
A toss to Westbrook, running right. And the rookie is forced out of bounds for the first down. So a toss to the speedy Westbrook, and he got just enough for a fresh set of downs for the Eagles.
Well, Greg Spires, he tried just cramming up inside. He blew up 2 guys, but because the ball was coming outside, he was not a factor. And you see there the job that Spires did, but that allowed Westbrook to get out into the outside.
from the 30. Deuce Staley able to stay on his feet and forward progress. They give him to the 35, a gain of 5. Singleton on the tackle. Next Sunday, college football's ultimate skills competition returns to Fox with the Capital One College Football All-Star Challenge, with some of college's top players going head-to-head, and find out who has what it takes to be named one of the most coveted lists in all of sports. Howie Long announces his Tough Guys, presented by Ford Trucks. It all begins next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific, here on Fox.
Did I ever tell you guys I made his Tough Guy list one year?
No.
I did.
I find that hard to believe. Brooks was his toughest of the tough guys this year. On second down, incomplete as Donovan McNabb overthrew Thrash.
And it looked like Donovan had Thrash up the seam, but he got knocked off course. John Lynch right there just grabbed him enough to keep him from staying up in the seam, and he didn't get the call. But you wonder, had he have not got redirected by John Lynch, if in fact he would have been able to get up in the seam and make a play.
But still, Donovan missed that one by a good 5-6 yards. Really wasn't too close.
It's 3rd down and 5. Blitz coming from the Buccaneers. Gunned over the middle and knocked down by Barber. Chad Lewis, the intended receiver, and Rondé Barber has made his presence felt here in this second half.
I tell you what, that's just great coverage right there by this Tampa defense. You're going to see Antonio Freeman, and they do a great job of switching it off right there. Shelton Quarles is able to come underneath, cover him. That's where Donovan was looking initially. Then he comes back inside to Chad Lewis, and Rondé Barber all over him. Just outstanding coverage by the secondary.
And Rondé had it covered all the way. I don't really know why Donovan thought that one was open. It wasn't even close.
Punt hangs up, and the penalty flag is thrown. Tampa Bay ends up on top of the football as Rondé Barber was hit as the ball was coming into him.
Yeah, you got to give him a chance to at least catch the ball.
And they will call interference on Sheldon Brown.
Interference with the opportunity to catch the kick. Kicking team, number 39. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
The crowd didn't like it with the announcement. They did not like it even more with a look at it on the replay board here at Veterans Stadium. A 32-yard punt with a 15-yard penalty, only a 17-yard net. And here's the ball resting out across the 45-yard line at the 48. Good field position for the Buccaneers, who lead by 7.
Well, once again, the Eagles unable to move the football in a key situation, and Andy's trying to work the officials on that call.
It is not a reviewable play. I'm sure that's what Andy Reid is being told right now. So the ball at the 48. Three and out so far this half for the Bucs. Johnson to the sideline, wide open as McCardell makes a move and is out of bounds with a 1st down.
And this offensive line for Tampa Bay has really been outstanding today. Roman Oben against Hugh Douglas, and he just locks up with them. And because of the size advantage to Roman Oben, once he's able to get his hands on Hugh Douglas can't go anywhere.
Blitz coming from the Eagles, and it's dumped over the middle, incomplete.
Boy, and the difference in this second half so far for the Eagles has just been the change in attitude. They finally abandoned the conservative approach. They've been bringing the blitz, And Brad Johnson, as happened the first game, really has been struggling with trying to make plays out of this. They're falling at his feet. Sean Barber's coming. N.D. Kalu. They're all meeting at the quarterback. Really just surprised we didn't see more of it in the first half.
2nd and 10. Caught by Pittman. And after the catch, nowhere to go. He is collared at the 35. Kirkland and Taylor there for the stop after a gain of 6.
Well, a nice thing here by John Gruden. They kick out Ken Dilger, the tight end. That puts Bobby Taylor a corner on him, and they have Keyshawn Johnson in on the slot. He then is working against a linebacker. They do a good job of covering him. And then they got Pittman working against Levon Kirkland. All the matchups were there. They just weren't able to get much out of the play.
3rd down and 4. Wide open is Dilger. Down just shy of the 15-yard line with another Tampa first down.
Great play call that time by John Gruden. They're coming with the pressure off the corner. He's just going to take it and dump it right over the head of N.D. Kalu. And the cornerbacks on this side, I believe it was Troy Vincent, they just took off and ran down the field trying to cover Joe Jurevicius. You see everybody with their back turned, and nobody picked up Dilger.
Well, so many times when you got a guy in the backfield and you let him come out into the flat, they think he's going to block. He comes out into the flat. Nobody's there to pick him up.
From the 16, it's Allstott. Turn what looked to be a play where Allstott would be brought down to the backfield into a 1-yard gain.
Well, now we're seeing a complete role reversal on the part of this Eagles defense. They're bringing pressure almost every single snap of the ball. Now, and Dawkins is coming off the corner. They're going to bring Sean Barber. Everybody's coming up. And the effect that it's had, yes, you want to get pressure on Brad Johnson, but they're also stuffing the running game with this style.
Well, Jim Johnson is very well known for once you get inside the red zone, that's when he's going to bring pressure and try to disrupt the offense and also create a turnover.
2nd down and 8. Play action. There's time for Johnson. And the pass is caught by Dudley. Ricky Dudley out of bounds short of a first down. It'll be 3rd down.
Great read there by Brad Johnson. You've got Darwin Walker, who's going to end up in coverage right here, having to back out a big defensive end and try and pick up a tight end. Well, that's just going to be a mismatch. And Brad Johnson is really taking advantage now of some of the blitzes. John Gruden doing a great job of calling plays.
3rd and 1. Allstott running right, lost yards. And a big stand for the Philadelphia defense. Troy Vincent was first there.
That's a good job by the Eagle defense there, stopping Mike Allstott. But Mike Allstott is not a guy, in my opinion, who you hand the ball off to and have him run off tackle. He's much better when he's able to run straight ahead, north and south, in around the guard area. But Troy Vincent coming in there off the corner plays it well and stops him.
Carlos Emmons did a great job of taking out the 2 lead blockers there and really made the play.
27-yard try for Gramatica, who hit from 48 early. Snap a little high. It's down and through. Gramatica ends up on the turf, and no penalty flag is thrown. Brian Dawkins came through, hit Martin Gramatica, but they do not throw a flag, and the Buccaneers pick up 3 points.
Boy, I bet you Bill Cowher's screaming right now, saying if it was a penalty on us, why isn't it a penalty on them?
Well, if Martin Gramatica looks like Roberto Benigni, he can't act like him. And he's certainly not as good an actor as Joe Nedney, because there was nothing there. He tried, but Dawkins was there for a little hug at the end.
Yeah, in fact, Dawkins grabbed him and held him and just tried to keep him off the ground, and Gramatica wanted out of his arm so he could roll around a little bit.
So a 27-yard field goal hit by Gramatica. Worth a try. He's 2 for 2. And it's a 10-point Tampa Bay lead. Puffy eye and all. Warren Sapp's reaction. He's saying to the official, you're looking at the field goal. Our kicker ends up on the turf. But I think we would all agree that that was a good no call.
He is so entertaining to talk with, too. And he talks to everybody. I remember we were asked him, are you going to spy on Donovan McNabb? And he was like, spy? Spy who? Why do you want to spy? Somebody going to get a free paycheck around here? You got to rush. You got to cover. You got to do something. His eyes were bugging out. He was fired up the day before.
So with a 10-point lead, Tampa Bay will kick it back to Philadelphia. Minute 2 remaining, third quarter. And another squib kick.
And a hike.
Big hit downfield. Damian Douglas comes up with it on the return, and we tell you that premiering next week, Fox Sports Net introduces 5-4-3-2-1, the only show taking you inside the world of extreme sports every weeknight. BMX rider Kip Williamson, free surfer Chad Towersey, and Leanne Tweeden are the experts bringing you the entire world of extreme sports all in one place with breaking news, event highlights, and insider features that you won't find anywhere else. 5-4-3-2-1 premiering next week on Fox Sports Net.
You gonna get into that too, Troy?
I haven't decided yet.
From their own 28, down by 10. Dumped off and too high as that ball took off and off the hands of Westbrook.
Well, and that's the second or third time we've seen that happen now with Donovan McNabb, and not that any of them would have been big plays, but again, to go back to what I said earlier, when you're playing against a great defensive football team, you've got to be able to make completions on first down to stay ahead of the chains. Right there, if you get the ball to Brian Westbrook, he's going to get at least 4 or 5 yards. If he makes one guy miss, he's going to get more, but you've got to get the ball in his hands with a chance to run.
And Westbrook hesitated just a little bit, maybe thinking he was supposed to gear that one down.
Second down and 10, and they run it with Levens, who goes nowhere, and it's Warren Sapp in on the stop.
Well, and that's what happens, Joe. You go incomplete on first down, then the tendency as a play caller is to come back on second down, try to pick up some yards so you can get it into third and manageable situations. The defense knows that. Monty Kiffin knows that. They stack the line of scrimmage. Now you're looking at 3rd and 10.
Well, let's go back to the Giants game we did, the last game of the regular season, which they thought was for home field advantage. Score a touchdown on the opening drive of that game, get nothing the rest of the day, and it's been the exact same story here in this one.
3rd and 10. McNabb is flushed, throws, and it's incomplete. The crowd wants a flag. They won't get it.
Boy, Rondé
Freeman, the intended receiver.
Excuse me, Joe. Rondé Barber is just all over the field. I remember talking with Jimmy Johnson one time about playing cover 2 and how you do it. He said you put your best athlete on the inside part of that coverage, and you allow him to make plays because that's where people try to pick up first downs. Rondé Barber has just been all over the middle of the field.
I'll tell you what, though, Chris, if Donovan McNabb throws that ball to the inside, which is where Antonio Freeman was working, I think he gets the completion in a first down.
Good punt by Lee Johnson. Into the wind, and it's Carl Williams with a spin and out of bounds, just shy of the 40. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Right now, it's 75 degrees out in San Diego, California. The winner of this game will represent the NFC in Super Bowl 37. 4th quarter coming up after this from your local Fox station.
You're watching the NFC Championship on Fox.
Get your motor running, SUV fans. The redesigned 4Runner is here.
Need a thrill, say you will, baby, right now, right now.
245 horses, more room, more power, more SUV for the money. Plus, new Xria sport suspension and downhill assist control. Translation, go anywhere.
Come on along.
And did I mention exceptional 4Runner financing?
Say you will, right now.
Now's the best time to talk it up, because with Verizon, every long-distance call automatically gives you another chance to win a trip to Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll experience 2 amazing theme parks. Don't have Verizon long distance? Sign up and be automatically entered. So why not talk yourself into a really great trip?
Verizon. Make progress every day.
Blue from American Express. Blue from American Express.
Weather and a whole lot of fun on Good Day New York. On Fox 5.
Put 15 minutes on the clock, and we'll play one more quarter to decide who ends up in the Super Bowl representing the NFC. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their recent history here at Veterans Stadium, terrible. Much different today. 280 yards of total offense. They've added 3 points to their lead here in the second half. And the catch is made by McCardell. A gain of 8 on the play.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can say enough about the job John Gruden's done calling plays. Right there, they come in with a bunch set, which by doing that, if the Eagles had any thoughts of bringing the blitz, they were going to have to bring the blitz from wider out on the edges, and then they're still able to set up in there and throw the football. But John Gruden's done a masterful job so far in this game, keeping this defense off balance.
6 road playoff games in franchise history, and the Bucs have not put up any points on the board as they get a first down with Michael Pittman running right up over the right side.
And Troy, let me ask you this question as a quarterback. In the first half, we saw almost no blitzes on the part of the Philadelphia Eagles, and John Gruden able to call the plays based on that. Here in the second half, we've seen almost all blitzes by the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think John Gruden's called the appropriate plays. It's been a little predictable.
Well, I think John Gruden is outstanding at anticipating and recognizing what defenses are trying to do against him and having answers for it.
Showing blitz again, and it's Bishop on the blitz. And Allstott on first down picks up nothing. You know, we've talked about the package that was sent to Oakland to sign Gruden. 2 first-round draft picks, 2 second-round picks. $8 million just for the right to sign John Gruden to a $15 million contract. And if the Bucs win this game, it'll be worth every bit of it for this franchise.
Well, it'll be worth it if they go on and win one more after that. And John Gruden will be the first one to tell you that he was brought here to win a Super Bowl, and that's what every coach is brought in to do. But this is a heck of a start right here.
Second down and 10. Jaravicius underthrown. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Joe, I'm going to agree with you on that one. I think if they come out of here with a win, that is one of the great bargains of all time. And I can remember everybody debating to start this season, is any coach in the history of the NFL ever worth 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s, and $8 million? And the general consensus was no.
Well, I'll tell you this. I was not one of that consensus, because I've believed all along coaches make a difference in this league. And if you find a guy who you think is the guy for your program, you've got to go get him.
The Eagles need a stand on 3rd and 10. Another blitz. Pressure. Johnson gets rid of it. Keyshawn Johnson overthrown. Bobby Taylor, the cornerback, came on a blitz, and Al Harris was downfield covering Keyshawn Johnson.
And that's what we've been talking about up here, is the strength of this football team. Not only do you have 3 Pro Bowlers in the secondary, I think you have the best nickelback in the NFL as well in Al Harris. And that time Al Harris just all over Keyshawn Johnson. When you have that kind of corner play and not really speed receivers on the outside, go ahead and roll the dice.
Tupa. Into the end zone. So the Philadelphia Eagles, with their offense sputtering, trying to get something rolling, down by 10. Get it back with under 13 to play.
I really did lose 245 pounds eating Subway sandwiches, and that's like a whole person and a half. I feel like I could do anything. Jogging, playing basketball, even mountain biking. I mean, I love the new me. And now Subway has all these delicious new sauces. It's great, like honey mustard on turkey or red wine vinaigrette on a club. So I don't have to give up taste to eat healthy. I could play golf. I'm even thinking about taking up mountain climbing. Well, maybe next year.
Subway, eat fresh!
Proud sponsor of the American Heart Association's Heart Walk.
Come on, we're gonna be late.
Just grab yourself a Sammy Light. I'll be right out.
That's what I'm talking about!
Just tasted new Sam Adams Light, the first great tasting light beer. Shockingly great taste.
Thanks.
How about this one, babe? We somehow find everybody who bought the CD last week in Chicago.
From the database. Sweet.
And when the band gets to Chicago, we contact all those fans.
Through the mail server. Sweet.
And we offer them a t-shirt, concert ticket, something.
From the online store.
Sweet.
Now that, babe, would rock.
Sweet.
What are you rocking, babe?
Sweet.
.NET Connected Software helps you connect with customers. That's software for the agile business. From Microsoft.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Microsoft, providing software for the agile business. By Subway, fresh-made sandwiches on fresh-baked bread. Subway, eat fresh. By New Campbell's Chunky Homestyle Classic Soups. Listen to your mom, they fill you up right. And by Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Well, what an opportunity for Donovan McNabb with the Eagles trailing by 10 points. Fourth quarter and a trip to the Super Bowl at stake. Pinkston. First down. And he gets an extra shove out of bounds, but no flag. First catch of the day for Todd Pinkston.
Still plenty of time for Donovan McNabb. You really don't have to get away from your game plan at this point, but you need to begin to piece some things together. Nice play call on first down. They've been dropping John Lynch down to try and help against the run. The slant, the perfect call. That's what they want to do when they get those corners backed off.
McNabb with plenty of time. Lewis wide open. Penalty flag on the play. They're going to call an offensive pass interference against the Eagles.
Yeah, it looks like they got Chad Lewis pushing off on Rondé Barber.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 89. 10-yard penalty. First down.
You're going to see 20. Rondé Barber is going to be locked up here with Chad Lewis. Right there is when he pushes and gets separation. Comes back inside. It wasn't much, but once you extend your hands, they're going to call that. You cannot extend your hands to get separation as a receiver.
Wow, I tell you what, then I'd have never played it down if you couldn't do that.
Well, I'll tell you where they came up with. Michael Irvin, my teammate, used to do it all the time. They finally came down with that rule. Once the arms are extended, it's pass interference.
That makes it first down at 20 and erases a 22-yard completion. McNabb's going to have to run. And a minimal gain as he's forced out by Singleton.
Much better job that time by the Bucs on defense. Instead of running up and worrying about McNabb in that second down and long situation, they simply let him get out of the pocket, cross the line of scrimmage, use the great speed they have on the outside, knock him out of bounds. They didn't let anybody get in behind them.
And what a critical penalty that was on Chad Lewis. And would have been a first down, backs him all the way up. And
from the 29. McNabb, that pass was deflected, trying to get it to Levens. Pressure on the play by Sapp.
You know, I just have to go back for 1 second to that play, and what I saw was Rondé Barber moving away from the push. Yes, maybe the arms were extended on that play, but I'm not sure that the contact, if there was much of any contact, had any impact whatsoever on Barber.
Yeah, but Chris, once they extend the arms, and I agree, there may not have been much of a contact on it, But once the arms are extended, they're going to get that call against them every single time.
It's 3rd down and 15. McNabb still on his feet. Unloads. Penalty flag on the play as Pinkston tries to dive for a 1st down.
You got John Welborn well down the field. The offensive guard at least 10 yards down the field, so this one's coming back.
And that's what gets hard on these offensive linemen when their quarterback starts scrambling around. They're not for certain whether or not he's going to throw it.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
They're not certain whether or not Donovan McNabb is going to throw it or run. And you see right here, John Welborn, he's thinking McNabb's going to take off running clearly downfield.
You know, Troy, really, there's no excuse for that, though. He's been playing with Donovan McNabb long enough to know that he's going to scramble around, keep his head up, and try and complete a pass, especially in that long yardage situation.
Ball is marked all the way back at the 24. On a drive that started at the 20. Got into Tampa Bay territory only to be called back because of an offensive pass interference on Chad Lewis. McNabb with Simeon Rice up his back. Pass incomplete, and there are no flags, even though Levens is pleading with the official that he was dragged down.
Yeah, and it was Barber who drug him down. It looked like it might have been able to be called. They read the screen right away. Rondé Barber there in position and yanked Dorsey Levens to the ground prior to the ball getting there, it appeared. Well, maybe they reviewed it as an uncatchable ball. It didn't look like he would have been able to make the play anyway.
I thought that was a good no call.
Johnson, line drive punt. Makes a good Philadelphia bounce, and it's Carl Williams. Williams marked down at the 34. That's where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will take over as they lead it by 10.
So 20 seconds left. Garcia looks left.
He's got this weak side blitz coming, right? Takes a snap. It's a 3-step drop.
Bunch of big guys trying to kill him.
Dodges this one safety. Ducks under this tackle.
Launches this awkward, just squirrely looking.
Prayer to the corner of the end zone.
Right into the hand of
J.J. Stokes. Touchdown.
touchdown.
Should have been there.
Should have been there.
You should have been there.
If you want to be there, bring your Visa card because you can't buy 49er tickets at 3Com Park with American Express.
You should have been there.
Aboard flight 1673 with service to New York this evening. You want to make sure all your carry-on items are placed all the way underneath your seat in front of you or in one of the overhead bins. Please let us know. The captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Presenting the new 12-inch PowerBook, the world's most compact, full-featured notebook computer. And the new 17-inch PowerBook, the world's first and only 17-inch notebook computer. The new 12 and 17-inch PowerBooks. The next big and small things from Apple.
Introducing Cayenne, pure Porsche in a most unexpected form.
The score at the top, the game summary at the bottom. Brad Johnson has thrown one interception, one touchdown throw to Keyshawn Johnson, who had 2 catches on a long 80-yard drive in the first half. And Staley has been held to only 51 yards. He does have a touchdown. The rush for over 150 the first time these two teams met back in October. Allstott. Not much as he tried the line of scrimmage, back to the line of scrimmage. And I'm not going to say it's shocking, but when you look at what the Tampa Bay defense has done. You talked about it. You can't take anything for granted, but you know that the defense is going to show up. And it really has been a much improved offense we've seen from the Buccaneers today.
And I thought the play that really turned this whole game around was Joe Juravicius's play. And they were backed up. It looked like the momentum was still on Philadelphia's side. He catches that ball, goes the distance, and the game just completely turned around from there.
And I think you look right now, this is really important right now for Philadelphia to do something on defense because they're starting to run out of time. It's a two-possession game.
On 2nd down and 10, the catch by Dilger. He is spun around. Depends on the spot as to whether it's a first down or not. Here is that play. 71-yard reception. Joe Juravicius.
I think that's the play right there that gave this Tampa offense confidence that they were going to be able to move the ball successfully against this defense. It was one play, but you'd be surprised how one play like that will ignite an offense and give you confidence.
Well, right now, Philadelphia's defense needs one play. It's 3rd down and short. And if Tampa picks up this first down, they can run another couple minutes off the clock.
Well, they got the A train at tailback.
Blitz coming from the Eagles, and Alstott dives forward for a first down.
How would you like to try and take that on? The A train jumping off the tracks and over the top. It's amazing just how athletic this guy is for as big as he is, but there was no way he was going to be denied on this one. Right over the top. Hit me if you want. That first down is mine.
Well, and Alstott is such a guy that they never really know exactly how to use him. You know, he's not really much of a receiver. He's not really a tailback. He's not really a fullback. But I do know this. On 3rd and short situations, goal line situations, he's that perfect guy for getting the football then.
First down from the 45, and here's Alstott. Got half a yard.
Right now, Tampa Bay just looking to try to take some time off the clock. You got to be careful in an attempt only to take time off the clock and get conservative that you're giving the ball back to Philadelphia. I think you still got to play your offense. You got to do what you've been doing, throw the football and stay somewhat aggressive.
But you do have the #1 defense in all of football. You have an Eagles offense that hasn't done anything all day long, and even if you just run it 2 more times and punt, you're probably going to back them up somewhere inside the 20.
Play clock is down to 3. Just got it away. Alstott on a toss. Back to the line of scrimmage. That's all. And it will be 3rd and long for Tampa Bay.
And Brad Johnson, a veteran quarterback, and understanding the situation, running the play clock down as far as he can before snapping the football and trying to take as much time as possible off the clock. And now, especially 3rd and 9 here, I wouldn't think if it's not a screen, I would expect the Tampa Bay will run the ball here again.
Alstott not in the lineup. Blitz. And a little toss to Pittman. Shy of a first down and time for the Buccaneers to punt.
Well,
gain of 5.
Good call, Mr. Quarterback. It wasn't a screen, but it was the equivalent of it, about as safe a pass as you could possibly throw. And now they bring out the punter and say, okay, Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, you guys have been wanting this opportunity. I'm putting the game right on your shoulders.
And the only thing John Gruden's hoping for here is that he doesn't punt this one for 6 yards. Try to get this one down inside the 20-yard line and make Philadelphia go the length of the field.
He kicks it to Mitchell. I'm going to be shocked.
Mitchell will get a chance. Good coverage downfield this time by the Buccaneers. That was Corey Ivy down to make the stop. 35-yard punt, 4-yard return. The Eagles get it back. Time starting to run out.
Mr. Hogan is here to talk about software.
Yeah.
Beautiful day, isn't it? So, how much software would you like to buy?
We're thinking about a license for 20 servers.
Great! 500 it is.
We're not that big of a company.
Great! 500 it is.
Mr. Williams for 230 is here.
Great!
Thank you.
Does any software company actually listen? We do. Introducing Flex Select Licensing from Computer Associates.
And that's how we met.
You're so smooth.
It's a gift. It's one of those gifts that keeps on giving.
Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
What's brown to me? One word. Mahoney. Mahoney does the work of three. So instead of 3 different guys for ground deliveries, overnight, and international.
Hey, how you doing?
And 3 different pickup times, all I need is 1 Mahoney and 1 pickup. You wore the shorts for TV, didn't you?
One driver, 1 pickup, 1 reliable network. UPS, what can Brown do for you? A teacher gets too close to a student's parent.
Swear to me you're not having an affair with my mother.
An all-new Boston Public, 8/7 Central Fox Monday.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
After a 70-yard return by Brian Mitchell, that opening kickoff, just a 2-play drive.
Yeah, that first possession was nothing. They really haven't done much of anything that wasn't set up by special teams.
McNabb sets up and fires. Pinkston dragged down from behind as he crossed the 40.
See if they go to their hurry-up mode now to try and generate a little life in this offense. They've been dead all day.
Well, it's one of the first times I've seen Donovan McNabb really step up in the pocket and know where he's throwing the football, deliver a strike.
24-yard strike to Pinkston, and a handoff to Staley. Deuce doesn't want to go down. And a gain of 5.
And knowing, as I said earlier, you never know how many opportunities you're going to get in a championship game to go to the Super Bowl. You could make the argument that this is the most important drive that Donovan McNabb will have in his career.
On 2nd down, he finds Lewis, who has a first down.
Well, now we're seeing the Eagles do the same exact thing the Bucs did to start this football game and jumpstart them in the no huddle. Now you're seeing a very base defense out of Tampa.
I think what you're seeing is a team in Philadelphia that realizes the urgency.
Staley running left. Well played by Rondé Barber, who, if he's not breaking up a pass or coming on a blitz, makes a good, solid open field tackle on a run.
It's a great point, Joe. Rondé Barber, who's been making plays all day long in pass coverage, is also an outstanding tackler, and you're going to have to be in this situation now.
2nd down and 9. Rice with late pressure and off the arms of Pinkston.
And we talked about the drops that they had last week against Atlanta. You cannot afford in a game like this, in this situation, on this drive, to not make the most of your opportunities. Pinkston has got to make that play. It would have been a first down. Now they're sitting here looking at 3rd and long.
You have got to be kidding me. Wow.
3rd down and 9. McNabb finds Lewis, and the tight end has a first down.
That's a great job by Donovan McNabb, just sliding to his left, just enough to give him some room. Chad Lewis finding the hole in the void.
The other thing is they're getting no pressure out of this no huddle. Here comes a blitz.
And a quick throw and completion. Down inside the 25, it was Antonio Freeman.
We talk about it so much, though, those big guys at the end of a football game, they're just tired. And then you put them in a no huddle situation, they end up even more exhausted, and they start just leaning on the offensive line and not getting the pass rush that they were getting earlier.
And you can see how tired they are, Chris.
2nd down and 7. McNabb somehow gets out of the grasp of Seth, gets rid of it and finds his man. Antonio Freeman with a first down.
Somebody cue John Facenda. That was incredible.
That's a great job by Donovan McNabb making something happen. You cannot take a sack in this situation. He gets leveled just as soon as he unloads it by Greg Spires. Great job by Donovan McNabb.
It's 1st and goal. That's picked off. That's picked off. And who else? Rondé Barber. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers may ride to the Super Bowl with that one.
I tell you what, there's a look at Todd Pinkston right there, and I don't care. It did not look like he could catch Rondé Barber, but you don't stop and not keep running on the play. Rondé Barber stepping in front of the ball, making the interception, going the length, putting this ball game away.
I've seen some great defensive efforts in championship-type football games before, but I haven't seen anybody play better than Rondé Barber has today. He's anticipating, he's reading routes, he's reading Donovan's eyes. He's the guy in there on those inside receivers, and he has been a nightmare all day long for Donovan McNabb and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Only 3:12 remaining. The final game, football game, at Philadelphia's Veterans Stadium. And it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming north into the cold on this field in this stadium. Getting another pick, a touchdown from Barber, and a 27-10 lead.
The survivors of Flight 180
caused an outward ripple in Death's design.
Some people even said that death itself was stalking them.
It's tying up all the loose ends, sealing the rift once and for all.
You have to follow the signs. We have to fight this thing.
Watch it!
I hope you're ready for this.
Final Destination 2, rated R, starts Friday, January 31st.
New 5-star denim from Wrangler. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
There's a light in your soul that says you're one of a kind. Don't never let it go. Be original, an individual, yeah, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. There's nothing better. Be you, do what you do.
Martin Gramatica ready to kick it away back to the Eagles, who have just been deflated by an interception and a 92-yard return for a touchdown by Rondé Barber. Talk about making an impact in this second half. Rondé Barber has been all over the place.
Of course, let's not forget the interception he had last week against San Francisco in that one.
Swift kick off the legs of Westbrook. This is Mitchell, who laterals the ball. Doesn't get much out of it as James Thrash comes down with it and is forced out of bounds at the 40.
I want to show you how smart Rondé Barber is. He's going to fake the blitz and then come back and jump underneath the hot route. The receiver reads it hot. He thinks Barber is going to blitz. So did McNabb. And then he's going to dump it back out to the hot receiver, Antonio Freeman. And Barber just jumps right underneath it. And hello, Super Bowl for the first time ever for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So the ball at the 40. Philadelphia Eagles with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Now trailing by 17 points. McNabb buys time, finds Pinkston. Todd Pinkston has a first down. For the first time in franchise history, the Eagles for the season were over 400 total points. But their offense has been completely shut down today by this #1 ranked Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense. Over the middle, it's Staley. Here's Staley with a catch, and he fights for a first down. Rondé Barber on the stop.
Well, and Warren Sapp and this entire Tampa Bay team has been telling us all week that this is a different group. It's a much better team than what they've been the last couple of years. The teams that have come in and gotten beat, nobody's wanted to believe them, but they've shown it today.
McNabb backing up as he lets it go, and it's underthrown, looking for Staley. Pressure on that play by Warren Sapp. Let's look back. The 1976 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their first year, 0-14 in their inaugural season. Were outscored 412 to 125. Shut out 5 times. John McKay with his reaction. The Bucs would finally win their first game the following season after an 0-26 start, and then end up in the playoffs in the NFC Championship game in the '79 season. Now they unload to bring Gruden here. The offense has been making steady progress this season, and they are minutes away from an official trip to the Super Bowl for the first time in franchise history.
And you know that people out in Oakland are thinking, if we win our ball game out here today, John Gruden comes home to play the Oakland Raiders.
27-10 Tampa Bay. 2 minutes left in this one at the Vet.
The NFC Championship on Fox is brought to you by Budweiser. The best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser.
Halibut with polenta cake sounds good. Oh, but polenta sometimes makes me break out. I will get, a vegan club sandwich. Vegans are like so in. Is the salmon East Coast or West Coast? That'll just do a number on me.
I can come back later.
Crab cakes. I had crab cakes last
Sir?
Tuesday.
Porterhouse, medium, rare, slaw, Cobb, ranch, blue, fries, baked, toppings, all of them.
Oh, here's something. Coconut dipped shrimp sauté with pilaf. I like pilaf.
Get out of bed and get into Burger King. Start your day with a hot and delicious croissant for just 99 cents. Sizzling sausage, melted cheese, and egg on a flaky croissant. Just 99 cents for a limited time.
The storm is coming. Racing's greatest drivers tackle NASCAR's legendary track. The Daytona 500 returns February 16th.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers season came to an end the last 2 years here at the Vet, losing to the Philadelphia Eagles, not able to score an offensive touchdown. Different story today as McNabb fires high to Pinkston. Overall, the Eagles had defeated the Buccaneers 4 in a row, but it's the Bucs today with 1:55 remaining and a 17-point lead, and they're already handing out the conference champion hats down on the Tampa Bay sideline.
Yeah, and that's what every player plays for, and I wish every player who's ever played in the National Football League could experience what it's like once you realize you're on your way to the Super Bowl. And I'm not even sure it's going to sink in with this football team until they get on the plane tomorrow and they head to San Diego and get off, and then they'll know how special this game has been and that they are in fact going to be playing in the Super Bowl.
This is 4th down. That's incomplete, and the Buccaneers will take over. Greg Spires with pressure on the play, and it's time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to kill the clock.
And right there is the guy that I think has the Buccaneers in position to go to the Super Bowl. A couple of months ago, he just got on fire, and from November 1 on, something like 17 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. The guy's bounced around the National Football League, and a little bit like Rich Gannon out in Oakland when he got a chance to play with John Gruden for the first time, a veteran guy probably not that many people really paid that much attention to. And now here in just one full year under John Gruden's offense, this guy has truly become an MVP type candidate.
How about Brad Johnson with the NFC champion hat tucked into his pants as he takes a knee?
I know this. Throughout the season this year, they've been wanting to talk about all the things that Brad Johnson cannot do. Now they're going to finally talk about what he can do. They got him.
He's still calling plays.
He's still trying to call plays. That's a great feeling for him, too, getting dumped with an ice bucket. No matter how cold it is, he knows he's on his way to San Diego. But to go back to Brad Johnson, Brad Johnson has been telling us all season long that he knows that his legacy, and when he's finally going to get the respect that he deserves, it's going to be when he has a chance to go to the Super Bowl and win a championship. And he's going to get that opportunity here next week. And what a year he's had, and what a job this guy John Gruden's done for this football team.
And it's really worth pointing out as you see a lot of the defensive players around John Gruden, a point that we made last week. The Tampa Bay players will tell you, especially the defensive players, they loved Tony Dungy. And Tony Dungy still has his fingerprints on a lot of what's happening out on the field right now with the Buccaneers. But when Gruden came, not only did he bring life to this offense, but he even charged up this tremendous defense. And overall, this team was better prepared for this game in Philadelphia.
Well, I think the reason he was able to charge up the offense and get the defense excited was because he came in and he held the offense to the same standard that this defense has been playing to for a number of years. That got everybody excited. There's no question. You talk to the players on this team, John Gruden has made a huge difference in the attitude and the way they've gone out and played this year.
The twins, Tiki and Rondé Barber, celebrating on the sideline, and Rondé is such a big part of this win in Philadelphia as the Eagles spend their final timeout. Andy Reid, the coach of the year this season, but it's John Gruden who ends up taking his Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Super Bowl after the steep price that the franchise paid to get him from the Oakland Raiders. And he will steer them in his first year, and he was a late hire. He does not have the type of offensive line he wanted, although they're getting better. Doesn't have a lot of speed on the outside at receiver. Yet here he is with a date out in San Diego with either the Raiders or the Titans.
Well, I think you make a great point, Joe. The fact that he's been able to take this team and get them into the Super Bowl, a team that offensively speaking has been challenged. I mean, clearly they do not have the people in place that he would like to see them have. I think they're going to continue to get better on that side of the ball, but he's done a great job of covering up some of those weaknesses.
Now the Buccaneers will spend a timeout, and the Eagles and Bucks, nobody has any timeouts left.
Look at it, one last Chucky face for the special teams guys blowing it out there. And for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's been a great year for Andy Reid and Jim Johnson and company, and I don't want to take anything away from what they've done. But Troy, I've got to say, I don't know if they believe that Tampa Bay could take it to them the way that they took it to them today. I almost felt like in watching that first half, they felt like if they didn't take too many chances, if they didn't turn the football over, they were going to beat this bunch. The flip side of it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were aggressive. They were challenging. They were taking chances. They rolled the dice. And I'm not sure that Philadelphia came out with that same mindset.
Yeah, and I know Jim Johnson, this was his third third championship game, that is, and has never been to a Super Bowl. Of course, Andy Reid has. This is his 5th championship game. But the only team that's going to feel worse than the Philadelphia Eagles or whoever loses this AFC championship game is a team that loses in the Super Bowl next week.
A punt from Tupa. Brian Mitchell. Mitchell, who started this game so well for Philadelphia, 70-yard return, a 2-play drive, an early touchdown, only 3 points since for the Philadelphia Eagles, and this game pretty much from that moment on has been dominated by the Buccaneers.
And how about the job Monty Kiffin has done with this defense this season? And here's a guy never gets mentioned for a head coaching job. You don't hear his name. He's not getting interviewed anywhere. And all the guy does is every single year put one of the best defenses in the National Football League out there on the field. This year they're #1. Despite the fact they gave up the early touchdown, he regrouped his guys, got them over on the sideline, and they came back and gave up zilch the rest of the day.
Donovan McNabb with the throw, a no catch off the hands of Freeman. Well, this has been a Tampa team that has always been loaded with talent, but lopsided in the favor of the defense. They've had frustrating ends to their seasons the last 2 years that have come to a close right here at Veterans Stadium, with games where they basically didn't show up. And now they come up here, the 2002-2003 season, and it's all smiles. And Brad Johnson should take a lot of pride in the fact that at quarterback he has helped revive this Tampa Bay offense and has them pointed to the Super Bowl. McNabb throws, and it's off the hands of Staley. Guys, it's been a pleasure in our first year, and we want to tell the folks that today's game is being produced by Richie Zients and directed by Artie Kempner. Technical producer Dave Hill, technical director Rich Basili, and the audio mixer is Fred Aldis. The associate directors Greg Scopatoni and Derek Manning, our editorial consultant Steve Horn in the booth. The broadcast associates Jacob Allman and Jeremy Green. The pregame show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The associate director Jennifer Love, the studio technical supervisor Jack Simmons, the senior producer of Fox Sports Bill Brown, and the executive producers of Fox Sports Ed Gorin and David Hill. Dave Schwabe, our spotter, Steve Kleinfeld, our statistician, on third down. A nothing play to Staley, and it'll be fourth down after a gain of only one.
I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to read off the names of a couple of guys as well, and they play on the offensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This has been perhaps the most maligned group of guys throughout the course of the season. You go back to week 1 against the New Orleans Saints. Every time Brad Johnson dropped back, it looked like a jailbreak. And where they've come, and where Bill Muir has brought this bunch. Roman Oben, an outstanding job without nearly as much help as he had the first time against Hugh Douglas. Kerry Jenkins, Jeff Christie, Cozy Coleman, Kenyatta Walker. They're going to the Super Bowl because those guys have improved about 100-fold from the first game this season.
Antonio Freeman with a catch. The clock continues to run. The ball resting just outside the 30.
Roman Oben, a guy that's playing for the minimum. Nobody wanted him. Everybody out there just cut him loose. And he has been over there, the anchor on that left side, all season long.
See if we have one more play. One more play in this NFC Championship. It's Chad Lewis. Lewis brought down inside the 10, and that completes a tremendous day for this Tampa Bay defense.
Well, you can't say enough about the defense. You can't say enough about that man right there, John Gruden, the job that he's done ever since arriving here in Tampa Bay, and especially about Brad Johnson. Finally found himself a home, a coach that believes in him, made the most of his opportunities, as has his team, and now they're going to make their first trip to the Super Bowl in franchise history.
That's right. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are headed to San Diego for Super Bowl 37. They await the winner of the Titans-Raiders game, which is to follow later today. We also want to thank Mike Stevepak, who works the Fox box, Barry Strump, statistician, Ben Altop, who helps us up here in the booth. It's been a fun first year, and congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they will move on to San Diego. Let's go down to Pam Oliver. Pam?
All right, John Gruden, I guess that us against the world thing worked for you today.
We got a lot of confidence. We won 13 games. We didn't feel like we played our best earlier here in Philly, but we beat a great team. We're ecstatic to go to the Super Bowl. We just got to win one more game.
How much you loving Rondé Barber about now?
Always loved him. He's a clutch playmaker and one of the 50 best looking guys in the world next to me.
How good does it feel to deliver? You caught me there, to deliver. I mean, Tampa brought you in, paid a lot to get you, and look at you, going to the Super Bowl.
Well, I got a lot of respect to the guy that I succeeded. Tony did a great job, left some big shoes for me to fill. We got great players here. I really compliment our football players. Got 26 new guys here, and hey, we're going to Super Bowl, Pam.
And finally, don't tell me you haven't thought about this, the possibility of facing your former team.
Well, I got a lot of respect, obviously, for where I come from, and I do have some close relationships with some of those players. It'd surely be exciting.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Let's go back to Joe.
All right, Pam, thanks. And one of the people that he has a close relationship with is a guy by the name of Gannon, the NFL MVP, the quarterback, Rich Gannon of the Oakland Raiders. They will play the Tennessee Titans, and the winner will take on the Buccaneers in Super Bowl 37 in San Diego.
Well, that'll be a heck of a matchup if it winds up coming down to Oakland and Tampa Bay. And I think John Gruden said it best. He's still got a lot of close relationships out there out west. They've obviously still got to win another football game, but all we do know is Tampa Bay is going.
Let's go back down to Pam Oliver. Pam.
Here with Joe Jurevicius. Boy, our hearts go out for you right now. I know you've been dealing with a lot. Just how did it feel to come out here, beat this team in this place where nobody gave you a chance?
Well, I'm sitting on top of the world right now. It's been a roller coaster of emotions all week. But, you know, my family needed me to do this, and I'm a family guy, and the way I feel right now and the way things are going, I think my son might be up walking right now. So I'm happy. I just want to say thanks to the Buccaneer organization for giving me a chance, and I've got the best teammates in the world, man, and we've done it all along. People say we can't do it, we do it.
John wasn't really a football coach this week for you, was he? He was more of just a supporter of the things that you needed to do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, family always comes first, but this is part of my life, and Coach Gruden was there for me, told me do what I need to do, and really, I mean, I feel I owe a lot of thanks to him, and I just want to go back home and hold my son.
And a shout out to Michael and Megan, right?
Yeah, Michael and Megan, I love you guys.
Thank you. Let's go back to Joe.
All right, Pam. An emotional moment for Joe Jurevicius with all that he has been through this week. And how about all that this Tampa Bay Buccaneer franchise has been through the last couple of years. Coming up here to Philadelphia in the postseason, only to have their hopes dashed by this very good Philadelphia Eagles franchise. But today, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They end up on top with a 27-10 victory. The Buccaneers are going to the Super Bowl, and we'll come back with more right after this.
Absolutely atrocious, Alan. I can't believe he missed that.
The reverse angle showed that was a good call for offside.
Oh, my word, I think we've got extra man on the pitch.
Can't imagine he'll get too far, though.
I don't know. So far, he's giving the police nothing but a good look at his backside. I don't know if this is a cry for help, but it's certainly got my attention. Oh, dear. That's an image going to stay with me for a very long time.
Scorched onto my retina.
I do hope he's not heading for the royal box. Oh, that's going to leave a mark.
Back to the game. Furlong, Denick.
Oh, we have contact.
Looks like he has more souvenirs for the crowd.
I think he's got the shoes to thank.
A minute ago, they were all chanting who had all the pies. I think there's your answer.
And he's off like a bull with gas.
Mr. Stevens? Yeah. Got you down for over 130 channels, $39.99 a month.
Right, so...
every channel's digital quality. There's access to 31 premium movie channels, 60 pay-per-view movie titles a month.
Great. So that can go on the back of the roof?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, good. So go ahead and pull around back.
You work for the cable company, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why settle for cable? Switch to DirecTV and get over 130 channels, only $39.99 a month. Call